beat is
and I told her today, I listen to world is yours. And I'm like, this ain't talking like this. So whoever you think is the best, they not making the world is yours. They're not making If I Rule the World. They're not making Juice. They're not making Warner. They're not making Sky's the Limit. They're not doing it. They're not making Can't Act the Hustle. They're not making The Evil. They're not making Pop. They're not making it. No disrespect. I'm a rapper. I'm not making it.
These biting my style, I hope they got dental plans. So get it straight from the source and cut out the middleman. Get that pure dough. Get that pure dough. Go get it straight from the source and cut out the middleman. Then you get that pure dough.
He wish he wasn't him sometimes.
What's good, people? We back once again. Verse for Verse podcast with your boy, Big U.
Happy Father's Day, by the way.
Word, happy Father's Day.
Yes.
Facts. So, today we going to touch on an artist that a lot of people may not be familiar with, but he's one of my people. If you into that neo soul, into that soul music, we going to mess with a Bilal song. Bilal.
Bilal?
Yeah, Bilal.
That was Martin Lawrence's name.
Yeah, in House Party.
Yes.
Most definitely
Bilal.
was. Facts. Bilal, but what we gonna do, we gonna get into sometimes. Word. And I love this song because to me, it was a song that represented just the random thoughts, not even so much random, but the mindset of a man in the course of a day. There are so many different thoughts and different places that your mind is going because you're trying to fulfill everybody's everything. You're trying to figure out what I need to do, what should I be doing, if you're doing right.
Yeah.
As a man anyway, you should be trying to solve problems and figure things out.
And I think the simplistic form of the song, it kind of makes it more relatable. Like it's just here, these are the thoughts. These are the thoughts. Sometimes. That nigga sing his ass off.
Let's see if y'all can relate to these sometimes
Let's just start
thoughts.
off. I just want to say shout out to the writers on this one. And we'll shout them out again later. But we got Bilal, Oliver, and James Poyser.
Okay, all right.
Y'all penned a great one.
So he says, sometimes I wish I wasn't me. Sometimes I wish I was drug free. Sometimes I wish I saw the exit sign first. Sometimes
That's a fact.
I wish I knew the truth without search. Sometimes
Big facts.
I wish I could go where I never been, see what I never saw, do what I never did, or walk before I could crawl. Sometimes let's dissect.
Talk about it, man.
Let's dissect. What is he talking about there?
Sometimes it's like we all sometimes just have these random thoughts, like you said in the beginning. I love the fact he said he wish he was drug free sometimes. Like I can relate, alcohol is a drug,
That's a fact,
right?
It's a hell of a drug.
So sometimes I feel like, you don't like to drink anymore, do you? Do you drink? Do you drink?
Yes, I do drink.
Not all the time.
He said you don't like
Not
to
all
drink.
the time. I drank last night. I had a couple
But you don't-
whiskeys.
Do you sometimes wish you were drug free?
Yes, definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
But I want to connect that to the line before that. I wish I wasn't me sometimes.
He's talking random heaviness though.
Right,
These
right.
are hard thoughts that go through our minds. Like wow.
Obviously, I just picked out one, but it's like all of these things.
So I just feel like, cause I personally just feel like they're connected, right? A lot of people, you do drugs kind of escape, right? To escape your reality of what's going on, who you are. So it's like, sometimes I wish I wasn't me. Then I wouldn't even need to do drugs. But then, and since I am me, I also wish I wasn't drugs.
Let's get a little these drugs.
Since this is the life I'm living, sometimes I gotta do some drugs. But I wish I didn't have to do these drugs. I wish I was drug free. Sometimes,
And then even he said he wished he saw the exit sign
heavy.
first. Sometimes
That's heavy, man. What's that mean?
I feel like a lot of times people are out there just doing things and not even knowing what's the end game of that. Like, what are you doing that for? You see somebody else doing something. Me too. You see somebody else. You over. Okay, I'm on this. What are you doing that for? What effect is that having?
And you can stop. You don't have to waste no time. Like if you already know how it's gonna end, maybe it's not even worth going through this.
Yep.
It's like if I knew this is what the exit was, I wouldn't even started this.
And you know, strange enough, you know, I had a talk with Sal. Shout out to my boy Sal. You know,
I was
get well
gonna text him
soon.
a second. I haven't seen him in a second.
And
bro, get
we've
well.
had
Happy
this
Father's Day, bro.
conversation before where he said the end is already won. He talks
is.
about,
A lot of I've heard that a lot.
you know what I'm saying? He talks about
Because it's not even your battle.
right. And just all of the information that we've gathered, us men here, and you know the information we've got and the steps we've taken, whether it's investing, you know, just the way we're raising our kids. It's like we've already won. We've already gotten the stuff we need to kind of make sure the end game is going to be a certain way that, you know. And I've had the conversation with him. He was like, yeah, you know, it's no reason to be, you know, thinking certain ways because it's already won. You already got the ideas. You already, you know, you got it. But I tell him, you still have to execute them.
Yeah.
You know, no matter how much I invest, if I don't teach my kids how to do certain things with money, they can get the money,
Squander.
and it's over. You know what I
Happens
mean?
a lot of
So,
times you see that. Yeah.
as much as I feel like it is, you know, I do see some exit signs, you know. It's still a way of executing and getting there and making sure it still stays in this lane a certain way till we get all the way
And
there.
some people, just because you see the exit sign, that don't mean they're going to take it.
That's a fact.
You might be saying, I'm going to Brooklyn. It's the exit say Brooklyn right there, but somebody might be like, but I wonder what's after that exit.
And then also like I like that he's saying sometimes at the end of it, right? Because when you think of life, back what you're talking about, what Sal was talking about, like you learn that the actual like happiness and the joy is in the journey. Actually, like if you had the end in the beginning, then what's the story?
What's life
at?
about?
What's life about? You know what I'm saying? So you need the actual story, and you need the journey before you get to the exit. But sometimes I wish I could just think about how it's gonna end.
Even though we've been here before.
Facts.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Big facts.
And I think too this song is dope because sometimes for a man, for us, it's important for people to understand that you don't always gotta be on top and on point on everything. You don't know everything all the time.
And know that you're not
so
always
it's
gonna
okay to
get
second guess.
everything you want.
Yeah, it's okay to be in that situation where you're like, damn, I'm not. Maybe I shoulda, coulda. Damn, can I? It's all right. So okay, so I'm gonna go. And then he said he want to walk before he crawl.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think that's fire too because a lot of people, and that gets back to you with the journey thing. A lot of people just want to get to the end game. Put me to the end. It's okay to want that, but you got to understand that that's not going to put you in the optimum situation. You need to.
We could really
crawl.
talk about every line in
need
this
to crawl.
song. That's
Yeah.
crazy. You know what I mean? I wish I knew the truth without search sometimes.
Yeah.
I
That's
skipped
in
over that
same-
one.
that's
That
in
goes with the
same
exit
vein.
sign.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's in that
Saying?
same vein. Yep.
Yeah,
Facts.
man.
Yep.
All right.
So he said, I wish my eyes wasn't so red sometimes. I wish I had breakfast in bed sometimes. He said, I mean, it was worth it since I did all the work last night.
Oh man, what is he talking about, Rich?
He said, sometimes
Rich,
you...
what is he
I
talking about?
don't know what he's talking
Rich?
about, to be honest.
You don't know what he's talking about?
Because he's saying that he wish,
I'll tell you what
that,
I
his
think.
woman makes
I'm
him
about to
a
say, because
breakfast in
let me
bed.
get to this little part. Because
Okay,
he
my
said,
bad.
sometimes
I'm looking at
you
the next
ain't
part,
good
yeah.
to me. Yes, I am good to you. And you don't see my attention the way that I do sometimes. And that's the end of that verse. But so
I
get
see
back
it.
to his eyes wasn't so red. That could be for a multitude of things. though.
tired, high.
Son.
Overtime, like
Yeah.
that Genuine said.
Exactly.
He signed up for overtime.
Yep.
He put his
Yeah.
name. He signed his name.
Yep. Or he could be high, or he could have been crying about some shit.
Yes. Who knows?
You know what I'm saying? His heart might be heavy,
But he does wish he got breakfast in bed sometimes.
which who of us don't?
Sometimes, yeah. That'd be
I
nice.
mean, it's worth it since
Since
I did all the work last night.
Yep.
And
Sometimes.
that work, that work could be, just putting that work in. You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes you gotta put that work in.
Right, you know? So maybe I deserve breakfast in bed for putting all that work in I did last night, you know?
Yeah.
Where we at here?
Says sometimes you ain't good to me.
I am good.
Yes, I am good to you. Which of course, that's all
Right,
perspective wise. And you don't see my attention the way that I do sometimes. Is that something that we go through as men sometimes?
Yeah, I think that's
Our
all the time.
intentions
To be
are
honest
not
with you. I think all the time. No, I shouldn't say that. But yeah, I think intention is something that you gotta hold for yourself. Though I feel like it's something that your intention should not. It shouldn't. It shouldn't matter if other people see your intention or not. But sometimes it would be nice for you to acknowledge it.
You know what I think is crazy? In work, I've worked at my job for 19 years, and it's like a saying that they say that the message is in the receiver, right? And I always have thought that puts you in such a terrible place, though, because no matter what your intentions are, you could be trying to say the best thing, the nicest thing, trying to do the best, most helpful, but if the person that's receiving that doesn't get what you,
your message,
it jams you. It's like,
that's a fact. But I think it goes back to what our purpose is here. Like our purpose, I believe, is to better each other. So therefore, we have to deliver the message that the receiver actually needs. If we're not doing that, we're actually not really doing what we've been put here, I believe, to do. So I think that's why I was like
I
that.
actually said in my song Free Sugar, shout out to Sal, don't matter the intention, the outcome's the commitment. You know, because everybody
That's
always
tough.
talks about intention, like you said. I'm to a place now, it really doesn't matter about your intention. What's the outcome?
Yeah.
Like,
That's it.
what happened? You know what I mean? Like, I don't care what you tried to do. You know what I mean? Shout out to you for trying to do something good, but something terrible happened. You know what I mean? It's like, so I'm not really into intention anymore.
Yeah.
What's the outcome?
I mean, I think you have to have your own intention, but you have to deliver whatever message, like you said, that you're trying to get across. And if you have the intention to do that, then you have to figure it out how to do it. I think you got to have intention, because without it, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not doing anything.
Yeah, of course. Of course you
I
gotta
get what
have
you're
intention.
saying. I get what you're saying, but it's not the end all be all.
Right.
Because a lot of people be
My
like, it's the intention that counts, or what they say, like it's the thought that counts.
Right.
Like that.
like that
You know what I mean? Like I
cliche,
said,
that I don't,
No, I don't agree with that.
Outcome is the commitment.
Yes.
That I'm committed to the outcome. You know what I mean?
100%, as you
know?
should be.
Yeah. No, I just think that he's going through a lot of mental places that, again, as a man, we be all over the place trying to be everything that we could be for people. Do you think that that's healthy?
What's that?
Just because all of these thoughts are, to me, come from, like, as a man, he's trying to be everything for everybody and for himself.
You say healthy to have these thoughts?
Is it healthy to be trying to be to solve all the problems, to get all the answers, to
Nah, I mean, and we talked about that just earlier, just the journey, right? It's healthy to go through things, to have thoughts, because I think conversation is the key. Me, I'm big, like even this podcast, for me, it was something where it's like, I love talking to people. I love having thoughts. This is what we have on here. We talk about things, and then we come to even bigger realizations. We open our mind to things, and we figure out more about even ourselves when maybe we came in thinking like, all right, I thought like this. We've had certain conversations with songs, and then it's like at the end, we start thinking a little differently. Like, okay, I understand that. So I don't think it's unhealthy to have these thoughts, but to actually go out and try to do all of these things all the time could be very unhealthy. You got to focus on yourself.
that's where sometimes comes in.
Yeah,
which is what puts it in perspective.
Yeah, I think also these are questions that in order to understand like life, you have to ask questions. Like you can't move forward in life, I think, without asking questions, because you don't know everything, right? So you got to kind of ask questions and figure things out. But I also think it's like we know the answers. So we ask those questions, or we wish this and we wish that, but it's like just talking about it, I think, gets you to the answer if you listen to yourself. Because most of the times we just don't listen to ourselves. Like, we kind of know what we need to do or what we should do or how it is, but we want it to be another way. Sometimes because it's like we don't want, and sometimes it's because we don't want to hold ourselves accountable. It's really all it is. It's like we know it takes XYZ to get this, but sometimes I wish I didn't have to do that. And I wonder what that is, though. That's another question.
What's the underlying thing?
The idea of like why you don't want to
do what we know we need to do.
I kind of think I know what it is, but okay.
I saw a saying that says that you need to do what you have to do in order to be able to do what you want to do.
That's a
and
fact.
I see all these types of sayings, but then when you look around in our society, it seems like everybody is doing whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
And
actually,
putting that what you have, they put what they have to do on the back burner.
It's a perfect example of what I just said. Like, cause the answer kind of just came to me. The answer to that, I believe, when I said why people don't just do what they have to do, whatever. I think it's because like we don't believe in ourselves, right? So I've said this before, where like if you don't think you deserve, but you also don't believe that it's like you deserve it, that it's for you, right? So because if you did this thing, tomorrow you'd have $10 million, everybody would do it, but you don't do it because you don't really believe that you can do it. That you can do it. That's really the only reason. Because if you understood, like, all right, if I do A, B, and C, I'm going to get $10 million, you just do it. The only way you don't do it is because you don't believe it. You don't believe that you can.
Do you think some of us might not even feel like they worthy of having that $10 million? Like if somebody said, if you do this tomorrow, you're going to get $10 million.
I think they go together.
They'd be like, me?
That's what I'm saying. They don't believe they could do it because why would that happen for me? That wouldn't happen for me. Like, I don't deserve it. Like,
what you think, Handsome?
Nah, man. I mean, y'all saying it, it's just people really don't feel they deserve things at times. You know what I mean? We grew up in.
I was saying we've been, yeah.
We've
been
Rich be in it. He can't get out of it.
We've been forced into this.
It's in him. Pause. You know, we've talked about this on other episodes. I think it was the Wale joint, if I'm not mistaken. You know, people start feeling like we don't deserve this. It's like, why me? You know what I mean? When something good happens, it's like, nah, something bad is about to happen. This ain't really what life is. I'm used to bad things happening. Nothing good's gonna happen to me. I'm just gonna be the pessimist. I believe that was the song. You know what I mean? We're pessimistic a lot of times. A lot of people are. I'm not. You know, I'm very optimistic with a lot of faith. So I'm gonna get that 10 mil. It belongs to me. You know what I mean? I say it out loud. I'm making a meal this year. You feel me? It's happening.
Like I feel like if somebody gives you an opportunity that seems like it's why not go for it? And then if the person is not genuine or you don't get that 10 million, it's bad on them. It's not because you just said, nah, I don't believe it, and then you left 10 million out there that you could have had.
Crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Go for that 10 million, as long as it's not gonna put you in a deficit. If they're asking you something crazy like, give me all your bank account codes and all of that, and then tomorrow
it's back to that manifestation, that self-fulfilling prophecy stuff. It's like you don't believe you're gonna get that $10 million, so you don't do what you got to do to get the $10 million. So therefore, you don't have $10 million.
That's a fact.
It's kind of that simple.
All right, so Handsome, what's your favorite part of that verse?
Whew. Man, damn. It's so many sometimes, man. Sometimes is my favorite part of the verse. There's so many things that I think of, so many days, sometimes I'm like, man. So I want to say, I guess, I wish I could go where I never been, see what I never saw, do what I never did. That's gonna be my part.
Yeah, no, I think that.
You know what I mean? Because for me, it's like I have plans to go places. You know, some things seem, you got the unknown knowns and the known unknowns. The unknown unknowns and the known unknowns.
And the known unknowns.
You know what I'm saying?
Word.
So sometimes,
Yep.
I really want to go places I've never been. I want to go places I don't even know about yet. I want to be introduced to some things.
You want to go to some of the unknown unknowns.
Yes.
Yeah.
See things I never saw.
Yep.
That's what I mean? That do things I never did, Some things I don't want to do as well, but there are things that I never did that I may want to do,
Rich?
I'm going to go with I wish I wasn't me sometimes.
Nah, that's fire.
Like, that's just so heavy. It's like, I don't remember the last time I thought that, but like, you can look at that in so many ways. You can look at it in a negative sense of like, damn, my life is hard. You know what I'm saying? I wish I didn't have to deal with this. But you can also look at it like, I just wish I could experience, kind of like what you were saying, something different than what my experience has been. And that's how I kind of look at things, because I believe like knowledge is like the key to freedom. So like the more information you have, the more unstoppable you are. So if I wasn't me, I'd be someone else that has other information. There's a theory that human beings are just one consciousness, like God experiencing the world from different perspectives. getting all of the information from your perspective as a black man and this person's perspective as a white woman, and all those perspectives is giving you that one consciousness. So sometimes I look at things like that. So I wish I could just see everything that everybody sees.
So with me, and it kind of gets into what you were saying with one of the entendres. Mine is, I wish my eyes wasn't so red sometimes, right? So because your eyes could be red, like we spoke about, from being tired, they could be red from crying, they could be red. But I took it a step further and took that RED and put it to READ about the information. Sometimes you might wish that you did not have, because once you know, you can never unknow, you can never unsee. So now the responsibility is on you. To do what you
do, whatever it is.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
That's fire.
Yeah.
Bars.
So I just feel like sometimes, we gonna all feel all different kinds of way, but it's alright.
Yeah.
Because most of the time we on our purpose and we doing what we supposed to do.
That's a fact. And in some dimension, you are all of those things.
That's a fact.
Shout out to the writers one more
Shout
game.
out to the writers. Word.
Bilal, Oliver, James Poyser.
Did your thing.
Well, this is another episode of Verse for Verse.
Like,
Bilal.
comment,
Wait, where
share,
Bilal's from?
subscribe.
So that's BJ the Chicago.
Yes.
kid.
That's right.
Like, share, comment, subscribe. We out of here.
I feel like he always
These
do comments.
biting my style, I hope they got dental plans. So get it straight from the source and cut out the middleman. Get that pure.